guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be filming a video showing you how we decorate for Christmas. I have several DIY projects that I haven't tried before that I'm really excited to share with you, and just lots of little touches to Christmify our home. Is that a term? It is now. To be honest, we're running much later on this than expected. If you can't hear it in my voice, we are on day 10 now of a sickness running through all of the members of our family. We unfortunately had to stay home from Thanksgiving, and we've just kind of been cooped up here taking care of the kids and, you know, just trying to get through it. So I went out and I got all the tubs of my Christmas decor. Well, Matt got them out of the attic, and I went and bought my fresh greenery, and I went and bought the supplies for the DIY projects. I did all of that quite a while ago now and have had it sitting out ready to go, but I haven't had the time to be able to do it. So this might be a little bit of a more realistic look at decorating for Christmas. It might be filmed with not always the best lighting because that's not where we're at right now. I might have to film some of it in the evenings as I have time, and you know, just kind of show you pieces along the way rather than the artsy video that I was really excited to like creatively film and put together. I'm gonna do my best to make it still a really beautiful, enjoyable video for you to watch and enjoy and get ideas from, but it is a little later than I planned to have it up. I really wanted to give you guys some inspiration and ideas, and life just happened, so that's where we're at. So we're gonna jump into it. It may take me a few days to get all of this up, so you might see me change outfits and things like that, but I'm gonna show you the process, show you what we're working with, and show you some of these DIY projects that are really affordable and really cute ways to add some new Christmas decor to your home. So if you're new around here, I would love if you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to see more content like this. We do a lot of like homemaking, homesteading. We have like a backyard homestead, motherhood content, that kind of thing. So if you like that, I would love if you would subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here, and Merry early Christmas. Okay, here's the start of the Christmas stuff. We still have some stuffy boxes, but this is kind of the bulk of it. We have our Christmas pillow covers here, and then I have a couple more Christmas pillows that already have the covers on them in the other room. Obviously, we have a lot of different tree elements. This is a really pretty like tapestry wall hanging, a few different tassel, I can't even think of my words at the moment, but this is what we have going on. And then like I said, we have some more little random odds and ends. We've got a few things left in there, and then some new things that I picked up from the thrift store this year. We also have a few bigger things like our wreaths and things like that that I have out in the garage that we'll put up, but I did not get those out yet. I mostly got out the stuff to kind of style our shelves and smaller areas like that. The first DIY project that I'm going to be working on for our Christmas decorations is a DIY orange garland. I'm sure you've seen them around. I actually have never tried one. I've seen them and thought they were really pretty and simple, but I've just never taken the time to actually do one myself. So I went to the store, we got a big box of oranges. They didn't have like a smaller bag, so I got this huge box for $10, and we have a ton of oranges. So I'm just going to make the whole thing into orange garland so that we can kind of sprinkle it throughout our home. I'm going to make a really big garland to go around our Christmas tree, and then I also plan to use them in a few different spots throughout our home. So I started with obviously cutting up the orange slices, trying to make them as thin as possible, but also the same like evenness so that they would bake evenly in the oven. And so that took a little bit, and we went through and got all of those cut. And then what I did next is I took a paper towel and I blotted like the extra moisture off of each piece of orange before I laid it out on the baking sheet so that it absorbed some of that extra moisture so that it would dry better. And then we laid everything out. We got all the oranges laid out. I did 2 cookie sheets at a time, and we went ahead and put them in the oven. And so it took a little bit of trial and error, but what we ended up finding that worked for us was putting our oven at either 225 or 250, depending on how closely you want to watch it. And then I would put them in for an hour, and then I would go and check them and then flip them over and then do another hour. And that usually ended up being just about enough time that they were cooked really well through. So I just spent basically a couple days, honestly, just chopping up oranges and then intermixing them in the oven throughout the day as I had time, and just keeping an eye on them so that they didn't completely burn to a crisp. I will say that it was a process to kind of get the right baking time down, and I just ended up watching them a little bit closer because, as you can see, we did burn some of them, and we're just going to intersperse the burnt ones with the regular ones that turned out really well, and hopefully it will come out okay. Okay, next up is making the actual garland. So as I got the oranges out of the oven, I just put the dried oranges in a container until it was full, and then I started working on my garland. So we used twine, and that seemed to work really well, and we just hooked a needle on the end and poked a little bit of a hole through the edge of the orange and then just looped them all on. It's obviously a pretty simple process. There's not much trial and error to it. We did intersperse some of the burnt ones so that we had some like color variety going on, and I feel like that turned out really well. But I just spent some time, I put on a podcast and just sat during nap time one day and just made this garland, and it was honestly kind of soothing and relaxing to just have something to do with your hands and just do a little bit of a DIY craft project, and it turned out really, really cute. And now we have like a very cheap, I mean $10 for the whole thing, and we have tons of it that we can disperse throughout our entire home. So I would say it was definitely a successful DIY project and one that is worth investing your time in to have a little bit of an extra fun project. Okay, the hair has gone up because we are trying to be focused and get stuff done. But I wanted to do a really quick thrift haul. So thrifting is something that I've honestly kind of let go by the wayside for a while now. I really loved thrifting in like high school, and I even thrifted a lot for our wedding, and then I just kind of forgot about it, I guess, in the busyness of life, and just started buying things at Target or Home Goods or, you know, different places like that, which I still love doing. But recently I've rediscovered my love for thrifting, and it's something I want to really incorporate into like just my regular routine, because you can find some really awesome things, and I love the combination of finding older like timeless pieces and pairing those with things from big box stores like Target or World Market is one of my favorites as well, Home Goods, things like that. So I wanted to show you, I specifically went shopping at a few different thrift stores to find some new pieces to incorporate into our Christmas holiday decor, and I wanted to show you what I found. So let's get into that really quick. So first of all, I found a few different baskets. Baskets obviously are great to find at the thrift store. This one was $1.99. I actually think this was half off that day, so it was $1. And this one specifically I got, we have an area in our kitchen that we keep like supplements and some medicine and things like that I want to keep contained and not out all the time, so I got this basket. It's the perfect size for that. So this isn't necessarily Christmas decor, but you know, baskets I feel like are always a good one. The next one that I found that's not necessarily Christmas decor, I'll just show you real quick. I got this on Facebook Marketplace. If you can see, it's a good size basket. It's a picnic basket. It's actually from Hearth and Hand, and it has a really pretty top, and I like the handles and everything, and like I said, it's a really good size. And this I plan to put on top of our fridge, so I may style it with like some greenery for Christmas on top of it. Maybe not, we'll see. Okay, next up, I found this at Goodwill. Let me get this out really quick. This was, let's see, this is $5, and I think this was on sale too, so I don't think that I paid a full $5 for this. But it's this cute little like vintage jar. I don't know if you can see the design on it. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. Yeah, it's this cute little jar with different like snowmen and different Christmas scenes on it. I thought it would be really cute on our shelves, or even with like a Christmas tree plopped in it. I thought it would be really cute. So we have that. This I got on Facebook Marketplace. This is just a candle holder, but it's a handmade like pottery candle holder, which I thought was really pretty. And I feel like I really want to incorporate candles more just in my everyday, just the coziness aspect of that with a tapered candle lit. I have a few different like daily rhythms around that I just really love, and so I needed a few more, so I got this one. Next thing I found, this was at Goodwill, so I found this tree. So it did not come in the basket, it came like this, and it's a fairly good sized tree. I'll probably take these little ornaments off of it and just leave it as is, but then I found this basket for $1, and I thought it fit it perfectly, just to have another like little tree to put on a side table or whatever. I thought that was really cute. And let's see here. Okay, this is like one of my favorite finds. I found this at a little antique shop that I'm going to be visiting all the time now. These two books, they're like real antique books. This one is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Like, look at how cute is that? I love the pattern so much. And I think it will be so pretty to style on shelves. He said that he thinks this is from like the 1920s, which is kind of crazy. Oh, did it see? Oh, I don't know. But it's a classic, obviously, but I just thought it was really beautiful for like styling and all of that. And then I had this book, which is Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, and I thought it matched perfectly with it. The colors are also really pretty on this one, with the green, and then it has a little bit of red, so I thought these two would be perfect to style next to each other on a shelf, and just have that Christmas element like peeking through. I just thought that those were so pretty. My next favorite thing, I got this from the same shop, is a copper candle holder. I'm obsessed. As you can see, I've been burning it next to my sink when I do dishes every night, and I've been absolutely loving that, and I just think this is so beautiful. I love the copper. I may move it to my shelves because I think the copper for Christmas would be really pretty, but we'll see. And then I think this is the last. Oh, I have two more things from the thrift shop. I got this. This was like $3, I think, and it's a handmade just pottery vessel. Obviously not specific necessarily for Christmas, but I thought it could be really pretty with like some red buds in here, or even like we have a magnolia tree in our front yard, clipping some of those and putting it in here and bringing some green in. I just thought it was really beautiful. And sometimes when you find like these handmade pottery pieces especially, I feel like you can't pass them up, and you kind of have to just grab them when you find them. Okay, the last thing I found was this sewing basket, and it's a pretty good size too. It came actually with all this like thread and stuff inside, and actually I forgot there was one thing in here. Oh yes, I forgot about these, so I'm glad I opened this and I put it in here. One, I got this wooden scoop to go with like our rice and stuff like that, and I thought we could just style it in our kitchen, which would work really well. And then this little jar, which I thought would be beautiful with some red buds in it. And then these little, sorry if you hear Camden in the background, I'm gonna try and finish this up real quick. These are precious, so I'm so excited about these. They were handmade, and I found them at a little thrift shop. They're little bottle brush trees with little like vintage scenes on the spool on the bottom, and I think that they are just so dang cute. Like, they are adorable, just a little detail on them. I think it's so cute. So I'm really excited to style with those. Okay, sorry for the interruption, but yes, these are very cute. And then this basket itself, I thought I could style with like ornaments inside of it coming out, or I could put it under the tree with wrapping supplies. Some people do that and just keep it under there so that I could easily pull it out and wrap a few presents. There's really, I had a bunch of different ideas, or even put greenery in it. And then obviously after Christmas, I can use it to store toys in, or just different things that we want to keep, you know, contained and not out everywhere. So those are the things I got from the thrift stores for this Christmas. And then a couple extra things are mostly craft supplies. I did not buy really a lot of extra other things. I did get some greenery from Trader Joe's, so I have some eucalyptus here, and then let's see, I got a bunch of, I think this is cedar or maybe pine. I honestly don't even remember now because, does it say? No, because I bought it before we got sick, and that feels like a lifetime ago. So I have this to make a couple arrangements with, and then I got two of the really big garlands. These are, I believe, 10 feet or 12 feet garlands for $13.99. They went up a little bit in price, but we used these last year and we loved having the fresh greenery around. It is drying out a little bit because, like I said, we got these before we got sick, and then obviously had to wait to put them up, but it will hopefully be fine. Okay, so the craft things that I got, I will show you very quickly. The only other decor thing I got is this from World Market. I've been really into the bells And these are really pretty, like antique looking bells. I don't love this, like the teal. I think it's pretty, but not for necessarily the style that I'm going for. So I actually found in one of my bags, let's see, some twine, like some thick kind of like twine material, and I'm gonna swap it out and hopefully that will work really well. But I'm excited to incorporate these. They were $14.99. I will link them below. They were $14.99 at World Market, so a really good find because the antique bells can get really pricey. Okay, I found this at the Target dollar section. I think I may keep them wood or I may paint them. We will see. Just little nutcrackers. And then a couple little of these Dollar Trees. Whoops. A couple of these Dollar Trees. And then I picked up a few different kinds of ribbon. I have some ribbon already, but a few different other kinds of ribbon at Walmart and the dollar store that was just really cheap and that I could use for various things. And then some twine as well because I feel like that will work really well. And then these were from the dollar store, these like velvet ribbon, which are really pretty. So I'm excited to use that this year. And then the rest of the stuff in here, except for these, I got these taper candles from the dollar store also that are green that I thought would just be really pretty for Christmas to put in a couple of my candle holders. And then I got some paint supplies because I'm going to try to paint and do a little DIY with some ornaments that I got from the dollar store as well. So I picked these up that have a few different textures, and then one of these, and then I think I have some extras out in the garage that I can use as well, and I'm going to try and do a little DIY with them. So I will bring you along for that. But that is everything that I have for this year. I have a lot more like DIY projects that I'm wanting to try this year, so we will see how it all goes. But I wanted to show you what I have, and now we'll get to styling it all. Okay, the first spot that I'm going to focus on decorating is going to be our TV stand area. So I started with obviously taking off the fall decor and setting that aside and getting it all cleaned off and ready for the season. And then I went ahead and grabbed some command strips that I had from last year, and I'm going to put them on either side of the TV stand to be able to anchor our garland, because that's going to be kind of the main focal point of the TV stand, is one of the garlands that I got from Trader Joe's. So I'm just putting those on really quick while the kids run around and obviously help assist. Next, I'm filling this little thrifted basket that I got. I really want to hang this on our pegs by our front door, and so I'm filling it with some of the extra greenery that I had from making some of our other arrangements. So it has some pine in there, some cedar, some eucalyptus, and I'm just interchangeably putting it in the basket and arranging it to look really cute. The next DIY project that I'm focusing on is recreating these ornaments that I got from the dollar store. So they were literally $1. I got a couple different packs of them, and I'm going to paint and do a couple different techniques on it to kind of up level them, make them look a little bit fancier than the dollar store ornaments, and also be more in the color scheme that I'm kind of going for with my Christmas decor in kind of a neutral palette that will complement everything else. So I will link below the Pinterest tutorial that I followed when I did this, but first I started with just using some regular just paint that you can get from Walmart for like 50 cents a bottle, and I just picked out some colors that I really liked, and I'm going to paint over each ornament to have the base color. You can start with either a lighter color or a darker color, kind of depending on your preferences. I did both and just kind of interchanged them. And then next we're going to take a sponge and we're going to put either a lighter or darker color. Again, it's all preference. It really is just trial and error and figuring out what you like. And you're just going to kind of pat the second color into it. You don't want to completely cover the whole thing, but you want to have enough of a sponge technique kind of over top of the first layer of paint. It was fun to play with different colors and do a lighter color on one and then a darker color on another and kind of see the different techniques that would come out of that, because it really was wildly different in the results that would come out, and you can kind of see that in the Pinterest tutorial that I'll link below as well. But after you do that, you're going to take a piece of paper towel and you're just going to dab off the majority of the paint so that there's still some paint, but it's kind of intermixed throughout. And then you're going to dip it in either baking powder or cocoa powder, depending on if you want a lighter look or a darker look. I had both, and then I just kind of interchanged them based on preference on what I wanted. The lighter one ended up being my favorite for most things, but there were a few darker colors that the cocoa powder really did look really great on. This little DIY project honestly did not take very long at all. The longest part was just waiting for the paint to dry in between the layers, and I did take off the tops of all of the ornaments so that I could paint them to be gold to just make them look a little bit fancier, so I did that as well, and honestly it came out really great. I'm really happy with the results of how it came out. Here I'm popping back the tops back onto the ornaments after they were all completed and getting them ready to style, and then I'll show you a look here in just a second at what the finished product looked like. Obviously it took some trial and error, and there are some that I like better than others because it took a little bit just to kind of figure out the process and what I liked, but I really liked the texture that the cocoa powder and the baking powder brought into it, and then obviously I like it being the color palette that I was going for. You can choose the exact color paints that you want to go for with your Christmas decor. It was just kind of a fun, simple little DIY, and I think it looks really cute in this basket styled for Christmas and really just brings in those colors that I love. So overall, really cheap project. I think I spent probably $5 or less on the whole thing, and it turned out really well overall. So I would definitely recommend trying it out and just having a little afternoon of painting and seeing what you come up with. Okay, let's jump back into the decorating. I kind of just spent the day jumping back and forth between the different DIY projects, waiting for the paint to dry or waiting for the oranges to bake, etc., and coming back to decorate different sections of our home. So it worked out really well to do it that way. The last little DIY project that I had to focus on for the day was just replacing this teal string with some twine. So I got some cord from the dollar store actually, so it was only $1. I got some at Walmart and ended up returning it because it was like $5 for the same thing, and I ended up finding it for $1 at the dollar store, so obviously that was super cheap. So I just took a few minutes to tie on the new string and cut off the old string. It took a little bit of playing around with it, but it turned out to look a little bit more rustic and just a little bit more of the color scheme that I was kind of going for. I do love the teal color, but it just didn't fit with the colors that I needed this year. As the kids get older, it's so fun to watch them want to be more involved with the process, and Camden just turned 3, and she is very into Christmas this year. She's very into all the activities and all the lights and all of that, and she very much wanted to help us put up the tree, and so she was my little helper that came and helped me fluff all the different pieces of the tree so that we could put it back together, and she actually did a really good job and had a lot of fun doing it. Okay, I wanted to give you a quick overview of everything that we put together. So this is in the living room. Come out, I can show you the tree first. We still have to put ornaments on, but we did do our orange garland on there, which I think looks so pretty. I love it. And I love the twinkling lights. And one thing we did different this year, I got this as a tip from a podcast I listened to that I can link below, but it's to add a mirror by your Christmas tree, because then you can see the light reflected in it, and it just adds a little bit more like sparkly Christmas magic to the room. And I actually really love how it came out. Like, it gives a little bit of a different view of the Christmas tree. I love how it reflects the plant in there too, and I think it's really pretty. So that's really simple, but that's a way that you could kind of elevate your Christmas tree and add a little bit more sparkle to your living room. So we have our Christmas pillows out, and we switched out our blankets and all of that. And then on this little side table, we just have a little bit, we have a little Christmas tree here, just a little simple thing. And then above the toys, we got this shelves all styled and looking beautiful, a little bit of extra coziness. And then we did the garland around the doorway into the kitchen. And this is one of my favorite things, this scroll here. We added some ribbon and greenery to the top, and I just think it's so pretty. And then on this side, we have our Christmas blanket and pillow over there, and then this is how we styled the TV stand this year. I went a little bit more minimal, to be honest, than I did last year, and I really like how it turned out. We have our ornaments that we DIY'd right here, which I think looks so beautiful and fit the color scheme just perfectly. And then over here, to the pegs, I just added this little vintage basket and filled it with some eucalyptus and some greenery to have a little bit of a Christmas touch there. The other main area that we added some Christmas touches to is the kitchen, and we kept the table pretty simple because we eat dinner obviously here, but we do light the candles for Advent at dinner every evening, so I wanted to incorporate the candles in there. It's a fun tradition that we do with the kids. We started it last year and we absolutely love it, and helps us focus on the real reason for the season. I added a wreath to the window over there, and then this is new. We added these shelves to the kitchen, so I got to style these for Christmas, and I made like a little coffee bar area over here where we keep our coffee and like one of our syrups in a cute little mug, and then I styled it for Christmas. So I'm excited to play around with this in the new year now that we have these, to go ahead and use it for some functional decor as well, to get some things out of the pantry and have some more space since we do have a small area. But for now, it's mostly Christmas stuff and then the coffee station. We do have some other touches throughout the house, but this is kind of the main area we focused on, was the living room and the kitchen, where we spend the most time, and I think it came out really beautiful and cozy, and it's even cozier at nighttime with all the lights on, all of that. And I love all the greenery and then the pops of color just everywhere. So, oh, and little random tip while I'm thinking about it, we have this little sewing basket, and we are keeping that under our tree, which I actually feel like it looks kind of cute under there anyways. But I'm keeping like my wrapping supplies, so like scissors and tape and ribbon, things like that. Not the wrapping paper itself because it's obviously too big, but like all the tools that I need, so that it's right there so I can just grab it out, easy access, and wrap presents throughout the season. so much for spending the last few days with me decorating and getting things ready and cozy for Christmas. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found some inspiration in it. I will link the products that I can below in the description for you so that you guys have access to all of that. And then we have several more Christmas videos. I'm going to be uploading one later this week on traditions with kids and how we do that with little kids that I'm really excited to share with you guys. And until then, I can't wait to see you soon. If you're new here, I would love if you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We would love to have you join our little YouTube family and follow along with us. So we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for spending the day with us. Bye, friends.